could bring 5 major upgrades that completely change the way these phones look, feel, and perform. And a serious jump in raw power and connectivity. If these iPhone 18 Pro leaks are accurate, this might be the most dramatic Pro upgrade in years, and it could be the phone that finally convinces a lot of people to skip an upgrade now and wait. In this video, we're breaking down all the biggest iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max rumors, the smaller dynamic island, the new 4.8MP variable aperture camera. We'll also talk about what these changes actually mean in real life, not just on a spec sheet. So if you're thinking about upgrading your iPhone in the next year or two, as always, if you enjoy staying ahead of the leaks and rumors, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future iPhone 18 Pro updates. Let's get into it. iPhone 18 Pro. Why these leaks matter first. Let's quickly frame what we're talking about. The iPhone 18 Pro lineup is still a couple of generations away, but Apple's hardware roadmap gets planned years in advance. Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max. This new report points toward 5 headline upgrades. A smaller, sleeker dynamic island A48MP main camera with variable aperture, a next generation A20 Pro chip on a 2nm process, a new N2 wireless chip, a new C2 cellular modem on paper. That doesn't sound like a minor refresh. That sounds like Apple preparing a real generational leap. Let's start with what you'll notice first. Toward a more all-screen iPhone, one of the most eye-catching iPhone 18 Pro leaks is a redesigned dynamic island. Right now, not just visually, but also as a UI feature. According to this report, Apple is planning to shrink the dynamic island on the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max by moving some of those components under the display. What does that actually mean? Certain Face ID sensors could sit beneath the OLED panel. The visible cutout could get noticeably smaller. You'd see more uninterrupted screen, especially near the top. This wouldn't be a completely invisible camera just yet, but it's clearly a step toward that true all-screen iPhone Apple has been chasing for years. A smaller dynamic island would make videos and games look cleaner and less obstructed, give iOS more room for status icons, and UI elements modernize the Pro look without ditching the dynamic island concept entirely. So, if you like the idea of the dynamic island but wish it took up less space, the iPhone 18 Pro leaks are pointing in exactly that direction. 4.8MP main camera with variable aperture. Smarter photography. Now, let's talk about what might be the most exciting upgrade for camera nerds. A 4.8MP main camera with variable aperture. On both the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max, we've already seen Apple move to a 4.8MP sensor on recent Pro models. But this rumor takes it further. A variable aperture means the lens can physically change how wide it opens, letting in more or less light depending on the scene. In practical terms, letting in more light, sharper daytime shots when the aperture narrows. Wide aperture equals brighter, creamier, blurrier backgrounds. Narrow aperture equals more of the image in focus. Better detail in landscapes, group shots, or architecture. Now, there is a reality check here. Phone cameras still use small CMOS sensors. Physics is physics. So, while a variable aperture sounds like a DSLR level feature, the real-world impact will only be clear once we see actual photos and side-by-side tests. Still, if this leak is true, Apple is clearly trying to give travelers and anyone who cares about camera performance, this could be one of the biggest reasons to wait for the iPhone 18 Pro. Instead of jumping on a smaller yearly upgrade, A20 Pro chip on 2nm, the next big performance jump at the heart of the iPhone 18 Pro lineup, we're expecting a brand new A20 Pro chip. The key detail here is how it's made. The A20 Pro is rumored to use TSMC's 2nm manufacturing process. Compared to the 3nm process used in the A19 Pro, that might sound like a tiny difference. Could mean in the real world, faster performance across the board, apps open quicker, heavy multitasking feels smoother, serious boost for gaming. Performance. faster on-device processing for features like photo enhancement, more work per watt, which can translate into longer battery life or cooler operation, or both if Apple sticks to its usual strategy. The A20 Pro will be exclusive to the iPhone 18 Pro and 18 Pro Max, making them the absolute top tier for performance in the iPhone lineup. For users who keep their phones for 4 or 5 years, that jump to 2 nanometers could be one of the biggest reasons to aim for the iPhone 18 Pro generation instead of settling for a smaller 3 nanometers based upgrade and 2 wireless chip, stronger, faster, more stable connections. Next up in the leak list is the N2 wireless chip, the previous N1 chip, used in devices like the iPhone 17 and iPhone Air, according to the leak, brought features like Wi-Fi 7 and more stable wireless performance. The N2 is expected to push that even further. While we don't yet have the full technical breakdown of N2, here's what it likely means. Even faster Wi-Fi speeds on compatible routers, lower latency for things like cloud gaming, FaceTime calls, and live streaming, more reliable connections in crowded environments, stadiums, airports, conferences, better power efficiency while staying connected. Apple has quietly been putting a lot of work into its wireless stack in the background. And the iPhone 18 Pro could be where we really see that pay off, especially as more people rely on wireless everything: AirPods, HomePods, AirPlay, CarPlay, and smart home setups. If you've ever struggled with choppy Wi-Fi or unstable connections on important calls, the N2 chip could be one of those upgrades you feel every single day, even if you never see it on a spec sheet. C2 modem, next-gen 5G and beyond. The cellular side, the iPhone 18 Pro leaks point to a move to a new C2 modem for mobile networks. Again, Apple hasn't confirmed anything, but a new modem generally means stronger 5G performance, better signal, more consistent speeds, especially in weaker coverage areas, potential support for newer bands as carriers roll out upgraded networks, improvements in power efficiency, so your phone isn't draining as fast while using mobile data, more stable connections while moving on trains, in cars, or when hopping between cells as carriers continue upgrading their 5G infrastructure. The iPhone 18 Pro and 18 Pro Max with a C2 modem could be much better equipped to take advantage of those improvements than older models. For people who stream a lot, download big files over data, or rely on mobile hotspots, that's a meaningful, everyday upgrade. Design, experience, and what this means for upgraders. We zoom out and look at all these leaks together, a clear picture starts to form. The iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max are not just about one big headline feature. Instead, they seem to be about a complete refinement of the Pro experience. Visually, a smaller dynamic island and more screen real estate. Photographically, a 4.8MP camera with variable aperture for smarter control over light and depth. Performance wise, the A20 Pro 2 nanometers chip for next level speed and efficiency, connectivity, and 2 wireless and a C2 modem for faster, more stable Wi-Fi and cellular networks. If these iPhone 18 Pro leaks are on point, this generation might feel like a more substantial leap than some of the recent year-to-year upgrades. It also raises a big question for a lot of people watching this. Should you wait? If you're currently on something like iPhone 14, 15, or even 16 and you're not desperate to upgrade, or you're someone who prefers to buy on big generations rather than every cycle, the rumored jump to 2 nanometers, the redesigned front, and the revamped camera system could make the iPhone 18 Pro series one of those milestone models like the iPhone X or iPhone 12 rather than just another incremental refresh. There are also early whispers that pricing for the iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max might not be as extreme as some fear, but we'll need more solid information before drawing conclusions there.